Hello everyone and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. I am Nancy and I wanted to take just a few minutes out of Christmas Day. This is actually Christmas Day, and wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And I wanted to go over some winter gardening tips for Zone 7. And I know that we have a lot to look forward to in 2023, and I'm excited to see what all we can grow and what we can achieve together. So let's get started. So the first thing that you might consider doing is looking over your indoor houseplants and dusting them and making sure that no little creepy crawly things have gotten in and made themselves at home. So check your indoor houseplants well. After Christmas, you're going to start getting seed catalogs, and isn't that fun? So keep an eye out for your seed catalogs, and I would encourage you to go online to the seed companies and place your orders, because lots of times they will run out of things. You may send in a seed order in snail mail, and by the time it gets there, the product's already gone. And you also want to look for coupon codes so you can get discounts, free shipping, sometimes percentages off, things like that. So you want to get your seed starting supplies ready. And lots of people are doing the jug method, where you take your water or milk jugs and you cut it open and you start planting there. You want to have that done by the end of January. And then you want to clean and sterilize. If you do start seeds and you have your equipment, do you want to make sure that you sterilize any containers that you've used previously. Plants that need to be stratified, you want to put those in your refrigerator, put the seed packets in the refrigerator and let those get started. You can start your things like broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, celery, and lettuce. Go ahead and get that started if you want to have your winter garden. Get those started indoors. Things like rosemary, snapdragons, and begonias have an extra long germination period, so go ahead and get those started indoors too. You can top dress your gardens, and while you're out there, pull weeds. I'm telling you, in Zone 7, I pull weeds year-round, and you would be shocked. As a gardener, I think we always try to get ahead of our weeds, and they just kick my tail every year. But if you can, get out there, and anything that you see that you've identified as a weed, get rid of it all the way down to the root. And remember, now we're in this terrible cold snap, and so our ground is frozen solid. But I still have tulip and daffodil bulbs that I have ordered. So I will get out and I'll put those in pots and arrange my pots where I want them. Like if I want the tulips and daffodils by the back door, or if I want them up front, by the sidewalk or wherever, go ahead and get those done, and make sure you keep those watered, and you'll have, come spring, you'll have beautiful gardens. And also the tulip companies, I think I got an email this week that the bulbs were 80% off. Like, they just want to get rid of their stock. And I was kind of proud about this. I use a company called Tulip World, and I had made a little video where I was unboxing the bulbs that I had ordered, and I was giving some tips. And they contacted me and asked me if they could share it on their website, and of course I said yes. So I was really happy about that. Let's see, if you took cuttings in the fall, like I know I took a lot of my coleuses. You want to check those for roots. I also have some lavender that I propagated in water. So anything that has good and established roots, go ahead and put those in a pot and get those ready for this coming gardening season. Don't forget to fill your bird feeders. you know, our little feathered friends, they are really depending on us this time of year. So make sure that you keep your bird feeders filled. And if you have grandchildren, you can make simple bird treats out of lard and seed, and you can use like a cookie cutter and take a straw and put a little hole in it, and the children or grandchildren can hang it up, and that's always fun. That's always a lot of fun. You can also force your branches. If you have things like pussy willows, go ahead and cut those and bring those in to force blooms. And chances are those are going to root and you'll have another tree. So it's just win-win. As a gardener, the longer you garden, I think the better you get. And you know, people will often say, well, have you ever killed anything? Well, yes. Like, I'm sure I killed a lot of things as I was learning. But the secret is that you keep trying until you figure it out. And, you know, sometimes you can follow the instructions to a T on the back of a seed packet, and it just doesn't work. It may not germinate. It could have been a bad seed, but you just have to keep trying until you figure these things out. And another thing that you want to do is walk around. If you catch a warm day, walk around and look at your trees. Look at your trees that possibly have damage. And now is a good time with all the leaves off to see your trees and see what needs to be trimmed. Maybe you have something growing too close to a power line. You know, you can get that taken care of. And I also wanted to tell you about my upcoming plans for 2023. If you've been following my channel, you know that I didn't get to do a whole lot last year because my father had gotten ill. I was taking care of him, and he passed away. So we have a family farm in East Tennessee. It's 37 acres. And my dream, and I wanted to do this before my dad passed away, and it was just impossible because his care became my number one priority. But my goal is to revitalize this family farm. I'm actually now the 4th generation farmer, so I want to be a good steward of this land, and I want to plant lots of I want fruit trees, nut trees. I want to create a food forest because as a parent of 4 children, I think one of the greatest things that I could leave them would be a farm that would provide food. We have a wonderful spring on our property, so food and water. You know, that may sound simple, but what better gift could you leave than food and water for the next generation? So I'm really looking forward to that, and I have lots of plans as far as the farm goes, and I've looked around at my flowers, and that's one of the reasons I have been working so hard on propagation the past couple of years, is because to be able to go out and buy the number of trees and shrubs and plants that I need would absolutely cost a fortune. But if I can propagate and grow them myself, then I think it's a very obtainable goal. So this farm is in a hollow in East Tennessee. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's been in our family since 1880. So I hope that you will join me on this next phase of my life. And of course, I'll be gardening here at my home and gardens in Franklin, Kentucky, but then we'll also be taking it on the road and going to East Tennessee and planting up there. So I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I like to think that we are a community, and I appreciate your comments and your support, and I hope that we are growing and learning together, And I just think that's something really special, and I appreciate especially the kindness and the positivity on this channel and every one of you. Thanks, and I'll see you Thursday with Thrifting Thursday Part 2.